Well, hello crafty cuties, welcome back. And we haven't done a card tutorial in a hot minute, so that's what we're doing today. I did have a part 1 to go with this video talking about my 10 basic card making supplies that I like, but it would have been a really long video, so that will be in a separate video. I have all my supplies ready for me, and I did already cut my card base. This is an A2 size, and that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And the star of the show is the stamp set that I'm using. I love this stamp set. It's called Wildflowers by Sarah Hurley. I did a complete video review on her stamp sets in this line, Beautiful Botanical. Not even going to edit that one out. So I am going to start out by doing some ink blending. I have my distress inks and I wanted to use some oranges and yellows for the fall. So you can see I am just going to take my time and start with the lightest color up to the darkest orange. And I'm just using my little ink dauber here. I don't know the real name, but I think that's what it's called. And I basically just dip in and get a little bit of color at a time. That is key to ink blending. I am also using some smooth Bristol paper, which I also find is so great with ink blending. And if you are having trouble getting a smooth blend, I highly recommend using that paper and you will notice a huge difference. So once I get to the top of the card with the darkest color, I am going to go back down the card with the lighter colors and just make sure that there's no harsh lines in between. Ink blending is just a great way to build a background for your card, and it's a lot of fun. The distress ink also reacts with water in a cool way, which I will show you in a little bit. So now it is time to do some stamping. Now I am using my DIY stamp positioner, and you guys, if you have been with me for a while, you know that I promised you we would get a DIY video out so that I can show you how my husband built this stamp positioner for me. And I really feel awful because we have not got this video filmed. We ordered all the parts, we have everything. The problem is my husband started a job and he travels, so when he's home for only 2 days at a time, it's really hard to find time to film without our 4-year-old next to us. So I really hope that we can get that video out to you maybe closer to Christmas time, because I love my stamp positioner. And you can see here that I got a really good stamp, and there was a couple that stamped out kind of light, and I was able to go back in that same exact spot and stamp over as well. So now I'm just adding in a few leaves. I thought that would add to the background. And next I am going to adhere my mat, my paper mat, to the actual card base. I'm sorry guys, it's like not even 8 o'clock and I am not awake. I thought it would be cool to add this black and white stripe. I love adding black and white color to almost any bright color. I think it looks so cool and it adds some boldness, and so that's what I'm doing. I don't know where I went, but I'm somewhere. So now I'm going to show you by adding some sprinkles of water. You will see how the water reacts with the ink. So now I can kind of use my tissue here, and you see all those white little marks. I like the look. It's kind of a distressed look, and I always do this with my distress inks. And since I used archival ink for stamping, nothing smeared on that. So now I am going to go ahead and stamp this larger flower, because this is going to be the focal point of my card. Now I use baby wipes to wash off my stamps, and I don't always show you guys, but I find it important to wash your stamps and keep them nice. You can always resell stamps, and it's just nice to have them as clean as can be. But it's okay if you do notice some staining on your stamps. That's completely normal. I am using my distress inks now as a watercolor, and I basically smush the ink onto my acrylic block here, and I'm just using my silver black paintbrush here. I think it's number 6. It's obviously a really small one, and I'm just painting as if you would with any watercolor. Now I do have a glass of water next to me, and I dip in it sometimes, but I don't really add a lot of water to this because I wasn't going for that real watercolor effect. I love watercoloring with distress inks, and I always have, and I just think the distress inks are so versatile. You can use them for so many projects and you can use them in so many ways. I love this flower so much. Honestly, I want to make a ton of cards with this flower, with this stamp set, I guess. So I cut it out, and oh, doesn't it just look so cute? Now I'm showing you the difference between the inks. On the top is the Memento dye ink, and on the bottom is the VersaFine ink. You can see how much darker that one is. Now, it did smear a little bit on me because if you use VersaFine ink, you do have to make sure that it dries. You got to give it some dry time, and I didn't do that. Since I stamped it on vellum paper, I am going to wrap the ends around the card. That way I can just use my glue on the back of the card and you're not going to see any adhesive through the vellum. I did use some fun foam on the back of this panel so that it would add a little dimension to the card, and then I'm going to adhere this down to the card top. And I try to get it as straight as I can, but you know, it can be challenging sometimes. So now I'm going to use my wet glue to adhere this flower right next to the sentiment, thinking of you. And I just seriously love this color scheme. I like how it works perfect for fall. I love incorporating florals into fall and winter, and I am so excited to use the rest of the stamp sets. Now I'm just showing you that baker's twine would be a really cute way to finish this card off. I didn't use that. I just end up using a ton of sequins, which you'll see in a moment, and I actually used black and white sequins that I got from Cartwright's. And if you didn't know, this is going to be part of a card series. I should have mentioned that earlier, but you will see several other card videos from me using this stamp collection, Beautiful Botanical. And so I hope that you guys enjoy this video. I am finishing off the inside of the card. I feel like a lot of people don't do that. I always try to, unless I'm in a hurry, but this is just a couple of the stamps from that same stamp set, and I love that she has 2 sentiments in this stamp set. And I just go ahead and stamp it, and I add a little bit of washi to the top corner of the inside. I just think it's fun to open up your card and have a little bit more to look at. I had a lot of fun using these stamps, and I had a lot of fun card making. You guys, I haven't done card making in so long, and I am excited that I'm going to be doing a card series because that means I will be making a lot more cards. And again, if you wanted to see the other stamps that were in this collection, I will have that video linked below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you will do some card making if that's what you want to do. And I'll see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.